Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto and happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. Anyway, I do suggest that you go over to TradingView and grab this free indicator here called Quad Rotation Stochastic. Okay, now I published this last Sunday and I thought it was probably going to get banned or something because I've had some problems with it, mainly because the actual script isn't really mine. It's a script that was open source on TradingView, then it disappeared. I had the script, it wasn't working properly, so with the help of a friend, thank you Crypto J, we got it working properly, just how we wanted it, and I republished it. And at first my description wasn't very good, and then the screenshot wasn't very good, so I redid this last Sunday, and here we are 1 week later and it's still up, which is great news. So this is the indicator here, it's called Quad Rotation Stochastic. Okay, so what you can see from the screenshot, you can see that you have these four wiggly lines, the red, cyan, yellow and green stochastics. These are all different stochastics, so essentially the fastest moving one is the red one, then the cyan, then the yellow, and then the slowest moving is the green one. Okay, so what you're looking for is when all of these bunch up down the bottom or down the top, and when you do that you get various symbols, and a really good one to look out for is this green arrow you can see here, which is called a super up indicator, which indicates there's going to be a trend reversal just like there was there. That's really cool. Also you get these straight lines like this. This is a detected bearish divergence. Okay, and what you normally see with these is when they end, like that ended there, the price came down. Okay, so they're worth looking out for. Also you can see this bullish divergence here, so the green line is there, and when it ended, not exactly straight after but shortly after, the price did go up quite a lot. Okay, so it's not perfect but it's pretty good, and for free it's not bad. Also you can see examples like here where you get these like green crosses up here, which means that although you're right at the top of the stochastic, so really it's very overbought and really the price should come down, that actually at that point the price is still going up. So it means like don't go short just yet, and you have to wait until these green crosses stop appearing before you can attempt to short. And in the same way you get them on the bottom as well. You can't see any here, but I'll show you in real life what they look like. So for example, this is Bitcoin, looking at it on the 1 minute time frame, and you can see you get all sorts of little indicators, like you get these green backgrounds as well. That means that all the stochastics are down the bottom. And then look here, you got the green arrow, which is a a bullish sign, but then you got the red crosses there, meaning hang on a minute, and then up you went with that green arrow. So I like to look at that in this view on TradingView, where you can see the 1 minute and 3 minute together, and you can see this little dip we just had a few minutes ago. This came down, you got the little green arrows, the green backgrounds, then you got the red crosses. The red crosses stopped appearing and then up the price went. Okay, so that's what it said on the 1 minute. The 3 minute, there was some bullish divergence there, but no kind of crosses or little arrows, so there was that. So at that point I'd probably check it on the 12 minute as well. On the 12 minute the stochastics really didn't come down that far, not like say for example they did when we were back here. So at the moment I'd probably say that that is a dead cat bounce, and then we're going to go further down actually. So I'm expecting a little bit more downside before we go back up. That said, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the CME group, they only trade Bitcoin from Monday to Friday. Well, technically Sunday night till Friday night. And their price closed at 97,680 on Friday night. Okay, which is considerably higher than where we are now. So what normally tends to happen, and it has been playing out pretty good for the last few weeks, is that the price tends to return to this kind of price sometime during the next week. It's usually early on, I think 3 weeks ago wasn't until the Friday, but generally it's always been going back there at some point in the week. So I'm expecting to see 97.5k fairly soon, which would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Which is kind of the top of this range that we've been in since about Thursday. Now, obviously, things are very news driven at the moment. So, if somebody says something about something or some war happens, then the price could do anything. So be prepared for everything. Now, I've been trading this over on BitUnix, and I must admit, I absolutely love this exchange. It's great. I've got this trade. I started off with about $800 3 weeks ago, and it's now up to nearly 3,000. I think is what it's worth currently. If I was to close this trade right now, I've already taken $1,142 profit, and there's an unrealized profit and loss there of 770. I'm not planning on closing this, but I've put a stop loss down here at 94,851 just in case. If it hits that, it will close in profit. Not as much profit as I've got now, but at least it will give me a nice sum of money to enter a new trade in the future. Now, BitUnix have got an offer if you use my link, which is savewith.crypto.org/BitUnix. You can also use the link in the description down below. And the way this works at the moment, until the 7th of May, if you make a deposit between $100 and $2,000, they will give you 20% bonus, which means if you put in $2,000, you get $400 for free, which is a really good offer, isn't it? And it's super achievable. And you don't have to wait a long time for the bonus. If you do that this week, you'll get the bonus the following week. And the way it works as well is if you say you want to try the exchange out with $100, you'll get $20. But then if you decide, oh yeah, I like it, and I think you will, and you put in 2,000, then they will give you the extra amount the following week, as long as you've done all that before May the 7th. So for example, if you put in $100, you'll get 20. And then if you decide, okay, I'm going to put in 2,000, 2,000 would have got you 400, but you've had 20 already, so you'll get 380. And that's all money for free. And you can use that to trade with. And that's about half of what I had here 3 weeks ago. And I've now got like $3,000. So if you did something similar, you could turn just the free money into about $1,500 from absolutely nothing. Okay, so for the next 24 hours, I think this would be a good plan. It's not financial advice. Do your own research, and do bear in mind that trading has some potentially high risks, but some potentially high rewards as well. So I'd go over to savewithcrypto.org/BitUnix. If you're on your phone, I'll leave a QR code on the screen as well that you can use. You do have to use that link to get the $400 though, so please do make sure you use that. If you just go straight to the site, you won't get that bonus. Now, what you also should do is go over to TradingView and get the quad rotation stochastic indicator. Okay, now this is pretty much as it comes out of the box. I don't think I've changed any settings as far as I remember. So I would say what we're looking for here is to see these stochastics on the 1 minute come back down here below the 20% mark again, and then also wait for it to do that as well on the 3 minute time frame. If they both come down together and you start to see things like these red crosses and green arrows, then have a check on the 12 minute time frame. Now, you might not see all these come down really super low, but if you do, and if you start to see the same kind of thing, then that would mean that the 1 minute, 3 minute and 12 minute are all pretty much in convergence. All of those four stochastics on each one are in convergence as well. And I think at that point we might have found a bottom, and that would be a good place to go long. That's what I'm looking out for. That said, I'm going to go out for a bike ride today, so I'll probably be out for most of today. So I'm going to leave this trade here on BitUnix with that stop loss there. I might even just give it a little bit more room to breathe just in case. It does mean if it hits it, I won't make so much money, but I'm willing to leave it in case we get a slightly bigger pullback. It's also worth looking at maybe the Fibonacci's, so we can do that over here. Let's go from that low there to that high there. Now Bitcoin likes to come back down to the 618, which is at 94822, which is really close to where that stop loss is. I'm going to pull it down a little bit further. Don't really want to do that, but I've taken a lot of profit already, so it wouldn't be the end of the world. Sometimes I like to go from the candle bodies as well, so let's go from the top of those bodies there to the candle bodies there. So the 618 is actually pretty much where it just went to, but not quite. 618 there would be at 95229, so that would also be a possibility as well. Anyway, that's how I'm trading it today. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. While you're down there, please do make sure you are subscribed and you've got the notifications set on all. Have a look in the description as well. Find the BitUnix link, sign up to that today, and make a deposit before May the 7th. And you need to trade once as well to qualify for the free money. So yeah, give the video a big fat like. Any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And above all, tell your friends.
Save with Crypto has to be one of the best YouTube channels that the United States has ever seen. Kamala Harris is not a subscriber, but I am. I have notifications set to all as well. I'd strongly suggest you subscribe to Save with Crypto today. Above all, you should tell your friends.
Save with Crypto is not a financial advisor. He just makes ice cream on the internet.
And what is the problem with ice cream?
I have no idea.
It drips.
Okay.
So my idea is what?
To make a drip-proof ice cream.
No, oh, that's a fucking brilliant idea.
If you cannot find someone to do your own research, you must do it yourself, just like I did not.